धनाविभैर किम उत्थानैर धनादिभिः येन चैवाभिपन्नोऽयं प्रणप्रियतमैरपि जनः सद्यो वियुज्येत किम उत्थानैर्धनादिभिः येन प्राणे प्रियतमैरपि स न सद्यो वियुज्येत येन चैनाभिपन्नोऽयं प्राणे प्रियतमैरपि जनः सद्यो वियुज्येत किम उत्थानैर्धनादिभिः. Translation and purport by Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. Whoever is under the influence of supreme Kala, eternal time, must surrender his most dear life, and what to speak of other things such as wealth, honor, children, land and home. Purport. The great Indian scientist busy in the plan-making business was suddenly called by invincible eternal time, which going to attend a very important meeting of the planning commission, and he had to surrender his life, wife, children, house, land, wealth, etc. During the political unsearch in India and its division into Pakistan and Hindustan, so many rich and influential Indians had to surrender life, property and honor due to the influence of time. And there are hundreds and thousands of examples like that all over the world, all over the universe, which are all effects of the influence of time. Therefore, the conclusion is that there is no powerful living being within the universe who can overcome the influence of the time. Many poets have written verses lamenting the influence of time. Many devastations have taken place over the universe due to the influence of time, and no one could check them by any means. Even in our daily life, so many things come and go in which we have no hand, but we have to suffer or tolerate them without remedial measures. That is the result of time. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurulmitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Vishesha Shunyamadi Pashat Deshatat Vancha Kalpataro Vishta Kripa Sindhabhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo 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 Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratise He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Do Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishavano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari ki. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Mukhaṁ karoti vācālam pangum langāyate kripatam madeshe. Hare Krishna. Take the blessings of all the Vaishnavis and Vaishnavis assembled here, so that I can glorify Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is a very important section for us, especially for us sadhakas, where the Vidura is very strong with Dhritarashtra. Actually, just to understand, Vidura has many times he has advised Dhritarashtra. Earlier in Mahabharata we can see when Duryodhan was born, he was advising Dhritarashtra, please give up the son Duryodhan. Anyway you have 100 sons, doesn't matter giving up one son. One son, it's not a matter, because all the evil forces are behind him. There is inauspiciousness everywhere. So there is going to cause inauspicious for your entire family, your entire the lineage. So better give up. But somehow because of putra moha, because of attachment to the son, couldn't give up. Dhritarashtra couldn't give up. So even before the war, he advised Dhritarashtra, please don't go for a war. Give the kingdom, half of his kingdom to the Yudhishthira. You don't have to fight for it. You are fighting against Krishna, who is none other than Supreme Personality of Godhead. But somehow he didn't listen. Again, it's because of Putra Moha. And this time he is still, even his 100 sons are not there, but still he's staying in that. So he's in fact comparing with a dog. Eventually you will hear, he's comparing with a dog. You're staying in a place who have been killed, killed by all your sons. You're staying in their kingdom. So this is a very graphic way he describes the reality of this world. The time is subdue everything and everyone in this world. We have seen in history, actually Prabhupada mentions in many places, the history is full of the people who are dead. The history is people who are dead. There is nothing, but we can learn a lot of lessons. The Napoleon is once considered as non-equivalent to is synonym of French. French means Napoleon, Napoleon means French. Now France is there, where is Napoleon? He wants to occupy Russia. So what he did, he left during the peak winter. So even because of that, the time, inevitable time, the time subdued the entire Napoleon army. So it's in Srimad Bhagavatam, many allegorical stories has been described, how the time cut down our lifespans. In 6th canto, Narad Muni instructs the son of Daksha, the 10,000 sons of Daksha. He instructs, in that instructions, Narad Muni, because the 10,000 sons of Daksha are brahmacharis, young brahmacharis. They are going to perform austerities before taking up the grahastha ashram, before marrying. They are taking austerities in somewhere in Narayana Saras, which is somewhere in the Pakistan. So they were performing austerities. Narad Muni, seeing their very sincerity, to instruct them, and he compared this entire Kala. He compared in an allegorical way. He compared, there is something which is revolving all the time, and there is sharp like a blade, and is as strong as thunderbolt. It says that thunderbolt can destroy even the mountains. So this entire kala is described as a round, which is means round means something like it is comes back to the same position again. Birth, old age, death again comes back. Anything, even a thing, what to speak of, even what to speak of our life, even the things, small, everything is going to be destroyed. In Indian history, there is a famous scientist called Ramanujam. Yeah. In about, I think, 17th or 18th century. He was very famous in a maths scientist, mathematician. He's a scientist. When he was young, he actually failed in 10th exam. Anyone knows actually why? He failed in 10th exam in maths. Why? Because when he got a paper, the maths paper, as he he saw the first question, he was explaining the first question various ways. There is a first way of understanding this, alternate, this is a second way, this like this. There are different alternative theories he is trying to solve that same problem. So eventually the time got over, so he solved with only one problem. Okay, so the teacher of course couldn't give marks for other things. He or she gave only for the first problem 100. He was stunned seeing the various ways to solve this same problem, but somehow he failed because of this. And he was working as a clerk in one of the British administration when the British Raj was there in India. So he was working, seeing that there was a person, his name was Hardy. Saw him, he saw this person is, he used to write all those things in the theories, the problems and solutions, everything he used to write on the paper. So he saw that, he said, okay, I want to invite you for the Cambridge, you can study in the Cambridge University. So that's Ramanujam joined the Cambridge University. One of the day, he happened to was not well, so he admitted in a hospital. So he was sitting and reading the Bhagavad Gita in the hospital. While he was reading, the nurse came and gave the plate meal to him. Then Ramanujam saw the plate of meal and he saw something long. He said, "Sister, what is this?" "Nurse, what is this?" The sister said, "It's a chicken. It's good for health." "Chicken? It's good for health? But what about chicken? Is chicken's health?" So nurse got bewildered. Why is he asking this question? He said, "And no, don't worry. The doctor will come." In the meantime, while he was reading, the Hardy, the one who bring him here, he came. And he asked this question, "What you are doing? What you are reading?" So Hardy asked this question to Ramanujam. Ramanujam said, okay, he said, "How I can explain to the Hardy?" Because he's a mathematician, what he understands. He says, "This I'm reading a religious book." He said, "Okay, is it something similar to the Bible?" He said, "Yes." "Okay, what you're reading, can you describe?" So the Ramanujam explained. He's coming from a Vaishnava background because he's Ramanujam, right? Ramanujam, Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. So he was reading Bhagavad Gita and he describes how I can explain to this person. He said, this speaks about the zero concept. The zero means everything comes back to the same position. Birth, old age, death, then again you come back to the birth, old age, death. So this world is shunya. This is zero, big zero. So I don't know whether Hardy understood or not, but we can understand this. Everything, as Prabhupada mentions here, everything in a time, the Kala Chakra, we call it as Kala Chakra. Chakra means it's round. Even though we measure the time in a linear way, in the line wise, but otherwise it's a Kala Chakra, which is considered as everything comes back to the same position. So whatever we are doing, whatever we are, everything comes back to the same position. Actually, we see that everything is temporary in this world. That's what it means. Even actually we see that while childhood many things we have done, right now we know, in terms of even the sense gratification outside world, we see that everything is temporary. Everything is temporary. In India, in 1930s, there is a famous Taj hotel. Even now it's very famous in Bombay. So they gave a paper ad in the, who can visit for a Taj hotel. So they gave what is the important feature, luxury in that hotel is a fan. Okay, that they describe that, enjoy in the hot season, come and enjoy this fan. Okay, they display the fan. 1920s is now. Even though we have so much of luxury, recently I was here reading, and the 5-star hotel, the most expensive hotel in this world, you have to spend about approximately in Australian dollars, $100,000 a day. So $100,000 a day, but for a day. After the day, they have to pack their bags and go out. Otherwise, they will kick them out, right? So that is everything is temporary. Even though they are spending, they're thinking they can enjoy permanently, but it's not going to. So this world is like that. I heard there was in US. So they see everything as happy. They want to see everything happy, right? So they started this channel, Happy News Channel. Happy News Channel means they speak only about happy news. They don't speak anything about what is happening. They want to just push it around under the carpet. No, nothing. Everything happy. But some of the channel lasted only for 6 months. The end. So everything is temporary in this world. So this world is, even if you are licit or illicit enjoyment, whatever you are performing, it's going to be end with a suffering only. That's a sad reality of it. So when we were young, we used to think that, okay, when the weekend will come so that I can enjoy this, even of course, when we grow up, but weekend we used to enjoy, we used to wait for a holidays, we used to wait for a weekend so that we can enjoy that. When old age, what they see, why the time is moving so fast. Okay, there is a proverb in English. When we are young, absence of pleasure is a pain. Absence of pleasure is a pain. When we are old, absence of pain is a pleasure. Absence of pain is a pleasure. That's a hard reality. Okay, we are not satisfied with anything. Okay, temporarily, and everything keep changing. When we are working, keep moving from one company to another, thinking that we are going to get pleasure. I remember one of my ex-colleague, many companies he changed, about 7 to 8 companies he changed in a very short duration. I asked him, you might have learned lesson that this job satisfaction, it's temporary. He said a very nice point. He said, I realized one thing in this entire hopping from one company to one company. Job satisfaction is only between the jobs. So yeah, when we jump again, we see that, this is the same thing. Okay, so it's the same hard reality. So everything is temporary. Now, what we learn from this in this temporary world is a fast life. Yes, how we can utilize it properly. In this temporary time. Hitler, when he was watching England and German cricket match, so you never heard a German playing cricket, but during the Hitler, there was this happening. Hitler, he was sitting in the stadium and he asked his assistant, how long this match going to happen? The assistant said, entire day long. Not just today, it's going to be tomorrow also. And not just tomorrow, even it's going to be day after tomorrow also. Because, there is a cricket, it's a 5-day cricket. And earlier I heard even that there are 11 days cricket also. So it's never going to end the game. It's like, as relaxed, everything in a mode of goodness, they play and just go back home. No winning, no losing kind of mentality. So this Hitler said, 3 days he got irritated and he said, in these 3 days I can win another 2 countries. So he just left there. And eventually I heard that he banned cricket in Germany. Even they still follow that. So they don't play the cricket in that country. So everything is in temporary. Everything is temporary. So we think that, okay, everything I achieved. So Kadan Kanam Swami Maharaj mentions in one statement, he very nicely mentions, old age means I heard it all. I heard it all. I've seen it all. I've done it all. But I can't remember at all. So everything old age, everything, we don't remember we think that we have done everything, but eventually we forget. That's an old age. In the famous quote in a Journey Home book, in the church, there are the skeletons. They have the text written on this near the skeletons. What they have written? As you are now, I used to be. As you are now, I used to be. As we are now, you will be. That's a hard reality. So we have everything. We see that everyone is going to dead. See, per day, statistic shows that 150,000 people die in a day. Approximately about 2 people per second. As I was speaking this, people die in 4-5 members might have died. But we don't know. The hard reality is that people are dying. As Yudhishthir Maharaj famously quoted that statement, the most amazing thing in this world is people are dying, but still we think that we are going to live forever. And we see the skyscrapers, everything building, thinking that we are going to live in this world permanently. We are going to eventually see. Somehow this world is, this material world is designed like that. We should forget that yes, this is meant for our enjoyment. In Hindi, it is saying that एक था राजा एक थी रानी दोनों मर गए खत्म कहानी means there was a king and there was a queen and they both died and that is the end of a story. Okay, that's a hard reality. We don't, every movie ends in a happy mode, but that's not there's post movie there is something called reality is that everyone is going to be dead. Everything is temporary in this world. Even in English there is a saying that, what is that? Yes, after chess, the game, the king and the pawn go to the same box. They go back to the same box. So it's a reality. We may say that, okay, yes, in this short duration we created so many attachments, thinking, oh, this is mine. This everything is. I am going to use it, enjoy it. Okay, people die eventually. And people call it as rest in peace. But what peace they have? Actually, we don't have a peace, because with so much of attachment, what we can have. The soul will we have in a peace? Only body we see that is rest in peace. Oh, we see how the person is very peace, but the soul is not in a peace because we have so many desires in that. Naranath Swami Maharaj, when he compares like a fizzy drink. You will have this when you're pouring in a glass. It's like a bubbles, right? Comes. How long it stays? It stays for a momentarily, right? Just its surface. We see that it's a very, very brief time it stays. And eventually that bubble bursts. That's how our life is. In this life, we may think, yes, we want to make something, aspire to do something permanent in this temporary world. But nothing is permanent in this world. The Prabhupada mentioning here in this purport explains how the Vaishnava acharyas, past acharyas describe that this temporary world. Especially the Govinda Das speaks about Kamala Dala Jala, Jivana Talamal. Means Kamala Dala Jala means a drop on the lotus leaf. How long it stays? It can drip any time down. That's our life is. Anytime it can breathe. So in that bubble, we tried all this advancement we see in terms of the technology, whatever we attempt, all what we are doing is we are prolonging the life to attempt prolonging the life in the bubble, like at the glass. We are just prolonging that bubble to stay for little long, but eventually it's going to burst. That's a reality of it. Many times we say that, oh Prabhu, you are pessimistic. Sometimes we think why ISKCON devotees are pessimistic when it comes to, there is something you have to have fun. Yes, we agree there is something, also there is in terms of enjoyment, but we cannot brush aside. There are two things very important why we bring this, especially the time factor. We always bring 2 points very important for us. One thing is, we don't brush down saying that yes, we are going to be eternally live happily. This is a hard reality. The reality is that we are all going to be temporary. We are going to end this world, and our body is going to end. So there is also second point is, we have a forgetfulness that we are going to think that we are going to enjoy in this world, but eventually it's going. So this temporary, because this is a temporary in our memory, we keep on reminding ourselves that yes, we are not going to. So His Holiness Radhan Swami Maharaj mentions in one of the class, he compares this human life to a signal, the green signal. Everything, everyone rushes in the green signal. Okay, but once you cross 50 years, it's like an yellow light. So two things significance about the yellow light. First thing is, from the yellow light, it doesn't go back to the green light. It goes back to the red. Second thing is, the yellow light doesn't stay for long. It does stay only for a brief moment. So our life, as we are sitting here, we are discussing, we don't know how long we are going to stay. Okay, this temple says Radha Gopinath stays, everyone stays, may stay. But our life is very brief. Because if you see, after 60 years, maybe 50, 60 years or maybe 100 years, no one cares we existed. No one cares. No one knows that we existed. No one does care that yes, this person was there. And even our grandchildren, if we have a grandchildren, no one knows, no one cares. So what we have is a life. Srila Prabhupada mentions in one of the class in Hindi is chupke chupke. You will get a bude ban jaoge. Means silently you will become old. We don't even realize that. We become old. So this world is very, very temporary. Srila Prabhupada in Puri, when he was Puri, he was walking on the beach. He saw a young man rushing towards the ocean and running towards the ocean, and he was jumping and playing. Srila Prabhupada mentions that in 1924 he visited Puri, Jagannath Puri. That time he used to run towards the ocean like that. He used to play. Now, after 57 years, I cannot do. My body is so old. I cannot run towards. This is a hard reality. That's why Srila Prabhupada mentioned material world is not fit for, this is not fit for a gentleman. This is not fit for a gentleman. This place is temporary. He wrote in one of the poem when he was in Jhansi, he wrote a very nice poem. In one of the stanza, he mentions that, where is my family? Where is my relatives? They all are, where are they? They all are in the list in my paper. They are gone. There's nowhere. He was laughing. He was saying that this is a naked truth of this world. This, time, the eternal time. This is a naked truth. So before leaving this world, Srila Prabhupada mentions this. Don't think that it's not going to happen to you. We are all, but this world is designed like that. Okay, we understand that yes, this is a very temporary, and we also understand that yes, there is something we all speak about something temporary, and we also understand there is something eternal also. Abhay Charana Ravindare means taking the shelter of the Lord, Radha Gopinath, we can understand there is something eternal also, right? This in the storm, when there is a storm, what happens? We don't take a shelter, we don't catch hold of something which is temporary, which can fly and move away, right? We catch hold of something which is solid, which is going to stay for. So for us, the tattva, the tattva of the Krishna, the holy name, and the process of devotion is eternal. So we take the shelter of the process of the holy name and glorify the Lord. So now we understand, yes, this is the temporary, the world is temporary, and the Lord is. Now in this, the Bhagavad Gita entire 8th chapter describes about how to leave this world. When we quit this, why we are doing this process, so that we can reach to the eternally we can serve the Lord permanent. But to do that, yes, we have to remember. Krishna mentions that during end of life, if you remember Krishna, you can achieve the serving the Krishnas, the eternal position. But to do that, we have to remember Krishna. It's not in a current position, it's very, when the soul is being ripped from the body, we have so many pain, there's so much of pain in the body. It describes that there are thousands of scorpions biting, the kapha, vata, pitta, everything coming into your neck, choked. We don't remember the Lord during that time. So we only, whatever during our life, whatever we have, we utilize it for the service of the Lord. So looking at the temporary solution, we make the permanent decisions. Yes, whatever we have, every moment of our life should be somewhere engaged for the service of the Lord. Okay, when Srila Prabhupada was distributing a BTG magazine, while he was walking on the streets of the Delhi, he was almost serving for 3 years. Okay, the bull came and hit him in his ribs. He fell completely unconsciousness. The pure devotee of the Lord, he was serving the Lord. His service, sincere service to the Lord. How can this happen? This is a hard reality. Right? This world is designed in such a way. Srila Prabhupada mentions that Maya never leaves even the devotee. Maya never leaves the devotee. Maya will test you. 2 things Prabhupada mentions this. If you want to, Maya will test if you want to serve Krishna or you want to disturb Krishna. He always checks whether this person wants to serve Krishna, because that is only way disturbances comes to us, right? This person is how even the difficult times, how he is able to remember Krishna. So Niranjan Swami Maharaj, when during early days of Niranjan, that time there book distribution, everything good, fun, everything nice, in a spirit. Everyone together, they are doing the service of the Lord. But sometimes, because the temple presence put a lot of pressure, in those days, there, wake up early morning and service. So Niranjan Swami Maharaj, one day he got really frustrated. He thought, okay, this is not going to work. This bhakti is not going to work. I'm going to leave this place. He packed his box and suddenly remember this, Srila Prabhupada's this statement, if Maya will test whether you want to serve Krishna or you want to disturb Krishna. Then he realized, this for small things, if I leave this Krishna consciousness, I don't know whether I'm going to come back or not. So he stayed back. So he always grateful so sometimes we have to remember these important points in our life. So what we do is we just serve with our all capacity, whatever we have, what time, situation, or whether we are serving, we are cleaning our dustbins, or we are serving in a very humble way, whatever we are, everything counts for Krishna's pleasure. So I remember Radhan Swami Maharaj, one of the class, he describes how 30 minutes he explains, we have spent millions and millions of lifetimes, come to the position where we are peeling potato. That's what Maharaj was graphically describing. We are peeling the potato, but we have spent millions and millions of lifetime just to come and peel the potato. What great it is to peel the potato. But that great is that we are serving the Lord. Even the demigods won't get an opportunity to serve personally to the Lord. We are getting this opportunity to serve the Lord. So, the Srila Prabhupada, in one of the places he mentioned, if someone did not get this service, is very unfortunate. It's unfortunate that they did not get this service. Then he mentions that, but one who got and lost is most unfortunate. It's most unfortunate. Even though, because in one sense, here Dhritarashtra was fortunate that he got a very sincere brother who could bring him back. Yes, even though he never gave up, right? Vidura never gave up. In spite of so many, he didn't follow whatever suggestions are, but still he was going on suggesting. He didn't give up. We are, in one sense, we are very, very fortunate. Even though there is temporary world in this, but we are living in this fortunate that Prabhupada has given this moment. Utilize it with our whatever possible, whether we are a Hanuman, whether we are a squirrel, whatever service we could do for the Lord, that will give glory for the glory for the Lord. So with this we'll end here. I remember one point in karate, when before going for a black belt in India, at least in India we know, before black belt there is a one last session will be there where all the other karate people have to hit him so hard that you should able to survive that, because the black belt is not an easy, it's not just he has to beat others, he has to also he should have a capacity to take that the beatings from others. Then the next day, after he survives that beatings, next day everyone glorifies him and he gives him the black belt in front of everyone. It's a big ceremony, giving a black belt. So that's a position. We are all the soldiers for the Prabhupada movement. We are somehow struggle, yes, where we have a limited time, so we have our lot of conditioning with our all, with anarthas, so many anarthas, yes, a lot of beatings. But the glory is that because we are serving the Lord and the Krishna's, for Krishna point of view, yes, this person struggled a lot. Yes, Prabhupada mentions one point, many places that yes, just chant the holy name. Even Mahaprabhu mentions chant the holy name, follow 4 regulative principles, you back to the Godhead. But it's not an easy thing just to do that. You have to take a lot of beatings from others. But that Krishna doesn't see whether you perfected or not. Krishna sees how much we are trying hard. That attracts the Krishna's mercy, right? Ultimately it's a Krishna's mercy. It's not our, even though we are doing endeavor, it's a Krishna's mercy. So Krishna's mercy can be attracted only by how much we are trying hard to please Krishna. That attracts the Krishna's mercy. Okay. So with this we'll end here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Also, having Dharma doesn't make difference to this patient. So